I know this because at the time he wrote it down for me, and he was also not wearing any trousers. He was standing in an art gallery in London, ironing a pair of pink trousers, which is something that tends to stay in your mind.
How do you explain the Dream Machine?
The story of the Dream Machine began in 1958, in December. Bryon Grysin was traveling on a coach to Marseille in order to visit an artist colony there. Bryon was tired and laid his head against the window and closed his eyes and drifted like that.
My actual physical involvement with the Dream Machine was that I promised Bryon Grysin that I would release it commercially. And I uttered the magical, utterly futile words, "It'll be really easy to do it." And I've spent the last 25 years proving that it isn't.
As I was riding down a road and closed my eyes in the back of a bus and had these extraordinary visions, which I thought at that time were some kind of spiritual grace which had been allotted to me. But I found out later that this was a purely physiological, neurological effect known as the activity within the alpha rhythm of the brain.
The way that it works is that the alpha waves in the brain are between, depending on who you read, 7 or 8 and 14 flickers a second. There are the alpha waves, there are the delta waves, there are the theta waves, and these are all at different frequencies. And these correspond to different psychological states in the brain. Different chemicals are released at certain frequencies or frequency bands. The alpha waves of the brain are associated with imagination, with seeing, with dreaming, and with a generally a relaxed state.
Instinct, eradicated. Artificial orgasm. Instinct, eradicated. Artificial orgasm. Instinct, eradicated. Artificial orgasm. Artificial orgasm. Artificial orgasm. 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 Orgasm.
Can you explain exactly what is the Dream Machine?
Dream Machine is a cylinder made out of various materials with holes cut in it, which turns around at various speeds and has a light source in the middle of it. And you look at it with closed eyes, and it flickers on your closed eyelids at between 8 and 14 flickers a second. That's what the Dream Machine is.
Oh my God, isn't that's the way it should look. Oh, how beautiful. Yeah, that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be.
What does it do to your mental state?
Well, that depends on the person. It depends on what mental state they're already in. It depends on whether they're used to going into relaxed states. It depends on whether they're comfortable with that. Some people aren't. But generally, the effect is to relax people and to make them concentrate on the inside rather than the outside. So the stimulus seems to be inside and not outside, which is very different to any other piece of art or any of these other things, which are all external.
But it's kind of friendly darkness.
You just said art, but you also called this real magic. What do you mean by that?
Real magic is what art was supposed to be in the beginning. The first art was people drawing on caves, animals, to attract them. It was called sympathetic magic. Real art has no signature. That's real magic. If you look at something like Chartres Cathedral, one of the most beautiful cathedrals in the world, there's no signature on it. There's no pictures of the people who built it standing there going, "Oh, that's wonderful. Aren't we fantastic?" Nobody knows who built it. And that's the whole point of it. It's for a higher purpose. It's for something else. And the Dream Machine serves that purpose. There's no signature on the Dream Machine when you look at it inside your head. There's no person speaking to you and say, "Aren't I wonderful for having done this?" The only person that can say that is you.